Good morning and welcome to our New Year's Eve edition of Mornings with Luann and Tim. How are you? Did you survive Christmas?
Happy New Year in Australia.
And Auckland, New Zealand.
They already had it, didn't they?
Yeah, they're done.
Australia just at 8 o'clock our time was midnight in Australia. Right now.
Imagine.
So Happy New Year in Australia.
Happy New Year.
Let me know how it's going to be for me.
Yeah, let me know. Please. Please.
Do you have plans?
You feel better.
Oh, but do I feel better? Yes.
Yeah.
It took a while.
Yeah, it took you a long time.
This flu came on, we did a show on the 24th.
Eve, yeah.
I left here at 9 o'clock in the morning. I went to bed, and I just basically got out of bed now.
Yeah.
It's taken this long. My lungs,
you
body aches, head, and then it moved into oh my gosh, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. Head cold. I thought, because normally I get a head cold first, then the chest cold.
And then it goes down. Yeah, me too.
This was like chest cold, then head cold, and I thought, yeah, it's on its way out. It wasn't done yet. No, it was just sort of moving around.
You still sound a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still congested, but boy, oh boy, I feel like 90%.
Awesome.
Yeah, what are you doing tonight? You got plans?
No, actually, Jim and I are going to stay home. We had a busy Christmas.
You did.
Holy caramba.
Mom came from Espanola.
Mom came, the kids came, and their plus ones came, and then we had a baby shower for one of them, and then the future in-laws of my daughter came. We're driving through, so they stayed for supper, and so yeah, we're just going to drink at the island, have an island party. Yeah, in our kitchen.
Oh, I thought you were going to like an island.
I know, that's what everybody says. We call it our island party. Okay, so we'll sit there and we're going to have hot dogs.
Okay,
and potato chips.
Do you watch the stuff on TV at all? On TV? I don't say
on TV?
That's weird. I don't say TV. I say TV.
What?
TV.
TV.
Do you say TV or TV?
I say TV.
Yeah, my cousins say TV.
TV.
Anyway, what do you watch?
We're going to do a couple of movies. You're such a weirdo. We're going to do probably a couple of movies, so we might miss the actual midnight.
Okay. You? We're going to Crush Cancer.
Oh, awesome.
At the Grand Theater on Queen Street.
And that's like...
I had Kirsty on the show.
Yes, and it's in the dark.
It's a glow party. It's a black light party. So we got bracelets, and we're supposed to put like highlighter on our faces. And wear day glow colors, and then everything
I have highlighter. Oh, not makeup highlighter.
No, like
stop it. You can't get that off, can you?
Yes, you can. It's water-based.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think you should put some big pink cheeks on.
I got
and
yellow,
really
I got pink, I got blue.
Get some really heavy eyebrows going.
You can draw your whole face on, and then you go and you glow.
Lips, like just overdo your lips.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be funny.
Do you want to switch places? I'll sit at the island with the gym, and you go do glow. Go do glow.
Do glow. Apparently, though, the trend is...
What's the trend?
Over the last few years... Lots of people just stay home for New Year's Eve now.
22%. I saw a poll. 22% of people are in bed before midnight.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. They don't even stay up to watch the ball drop. Which, by the way,
you gotta stay and watch the ball drop.
The first ball dropped in 1907.
Really?
I looked that up. Yeah, Times Square.
1907.
1907. It's crazy, hey?
I hope it's not the same ball.
There's some really weird traditions in New Year's, like around the world.
Oh, yeah?
Well, in Finland, apparently, they burn metal. Have you ever heard of this?
Burn metal?
I don't know what they do. Like, I saw a picture, like, it's like a spoon, and they take metal objects and they burn them and kind of melt them kind of thing. Tin, usually. And then what they do is they light a candle, and they hold the burnt metal up, and they look at the shadows that it casts, and they read the shadows to tell the future.
Oh!
Kind of like tea leaves, but it's burnt metal.
Holy, that's pretty extensive.
In Finland, yeah. There's a name for it, but I couldn't pronounce it because Finnish is like Dutch. It's a weird language.
Likely they're hammered.
I mean, it's a beautiful language. It's just very hard to say if you're not Finnish.
Likely they're hammered. So now there's flames and hot metal.
In Siberia, they plunge into frozen lakes while carrying a tree trunk.
A tree trunk?
The Swiss drop ice cream on the floor. No, that's just a waste of ice cream as far as I'm concerned.
I'd lay down on the floor.
And in Ecuador, they burn paper scarecrows. Happy New Year! To each their own.
Siberia, what's with the log?
I don't know. I wonder.
I
don't necessarily do all the research that goes by. I just look it up and go, well, that's weird.
Isn't that weird? Because we polar dive. We
polar bear swim?
Yes, we polar bear swim here.
On New Year's?
But, like, with a log. Like, why are you carrying your log? Since 1976...
Thank you. I cleared my lungs out again, Luann. Good for you.
Since 1976, LSSU has been releasing their annual Banished Words, and they just did it this year.
Okay.
Couple of good ones.
Yes.
Wheelhouse. Can't say it anymore.
In my wheelhouse.
Overused.
That's in my wheelhouse.
Used. Stupid.
No more wheelhouse.
No. Collusion.
Overused.
Overused. Too much of it.
Not our fault.
Ghosting.
What? I don't know what that.
So it's from, if I'm understanding this correctly.
Is this an internet thing?
Yes. It's like if you're dating and then you all of a sudden stop conversing with that person, you're ghosting them. Is that right, Garrett? Yeah. Yeah.
Garrett knows everything.
Yeah, he's such a cool dude. Otis.
Is cool dude in there at all?
No. Otis, you wish. Cool dude. Otis as in POTUS, FLOTUS, SCOTUS.
What is Otis? Oh, any of the Otises.
Yeah.
President so of the United States.
Yes.
Otis. Yeah.
Yeet.
Don't. Okay, Garrett's laughing. What is it?
Throw or toss. Apparently, university, college people say yeet.
Is that a bad word, Garrett?
All the time.
No. Yeet.
Maybe it depends on what
I never said it. You tried banish it. I never even used it yet.
Yeet. Why?
Yeet.
E-E-T.
I'm going to yeet my coffee on you?
I'm going to.
Yeah? I don't know why Garrett's laughing so hard. Are we saying bad things on TV right now?
I hope so. Accoutrement.
You can't banish one of my favorite words.
I know.
Accoutrement.
That's why you like
Décolletage.
it. Décolleté.
Is that what you say, the cleavage thing?
Or décolletage.
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 Your décolletage is a nice accoutrement to your gown.
Yeah, my décolletage is a nice accoutrement to the wrinkles between my boobs. Yeah. What else?
Accoutrement.
Eschew. That's another one.
Eschew. E-S-C-H-E-W?
Yes.
Now, some people say eschew.
Yeah. Eschew. Here.
Gesundheit.
Eschew.
What's on your foot? Eschew.
I hope it's a shoe and not a shoe. Anyway, check out Sue online. There's a whole list.
It's fun.
Funny.
Okay.
And they always do it, and it's such a. It's a little slow this time of the year, news-wise, which is awesome because that means there's no disasters.
Put that word on the list.
No, see, it's not.
It should be on there. You say awesome a lot.
I say it all the time because it's awesome.
I think it's your
crutch word.
Cap and Crunch. Do you remember that cereal?
Yeah.
Do you know right now that they have a thing? This is
used
bizarre.
To hurt the bejesus out of my gums, right? Because those square
crunchy,
edges.
Yeah. And they stick in your.
Oh, yeah.
I have deep crevices, and the captain gets stuck in them. Anyway, there's a Cap'n Crunch Slurpee. That's stupid. That's a flavor.
What?
A Cap'n. This is weird food trends of 2018. Cap'n Crunch flavored Slurpees.
Whoa! I don't think those are sweet.
Hummus milkshake.
Oh my word!
Charcoal vegan croissant. It's a croissant. It's literally black. I saw the picture of it.
What?
It's made from charcoal.
Charcoal was a big trend.
Vegans are really into the charcoal. It's cleansing. I don't know.
It was a huge trend this year for the foodies
edible gold is a huge thing now.
Yes.
Have you seen? I just
sheets of edible gold.
Chicken wings wrapped in edible gold.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they do that a lot. In France, they do it a lot because they're so fussy with their desserts and stuff.
Here's one that would really make you gag. Chaga mushroom coffee.
What is chaga?
Pardon me, please.
That sounds like a nasty
mushroom
bodily
coffee.
Function. Chaga mushroom coffee.
And you should see that it's like, why not just you're drinking soup? Really?
Throw some cream in, you got a cup of cream.
Cream mushroom soup. It's coffee.
I bet there's lumps in it.
Ugh.
Imagine a cup of coffee with whole chunks of mushroom. Stupid.
People are eating. Stop it.
Okay then.
January the 1st, distracted driving. We're getting serious about this, ladies and gentlemen.
Good.
It is still, as far as I know, unless things have changed, it had overtaken impaired driving as the #1 cause of death on Canadian highways. Okay, distracted driving has overtaken drunk driving. Okay, just remember that. So now here's what's happening on January the 1st. First-time offenders.
First time.
If it's your first time ever getting charged with distracted driving, you're facing a 3-day license suspension and 3 demerit points and fines of up to $1,000 first time.
Leave your phone in the back seat zipped up in your purse. goodness sake.
20 to 26% of all collisions, distracted driving. That's the cause.
Wow.
So an officer that I was reading this interview, this was a CBC article that I read, and they believe, and I think this makes sense, the suspension, they said fines are not doing the trick.
Oh, suspensions, well.
You can't drive your car for 3 days, you might think twice before taking that phone out again at the stoplight.
Especially if you need your car for work. Imagine.
You got a suspension, you got a demerit, you paid a fine, and you're having to take taxis everywhere for 3 days. Just stop. Just stop.
Stop doing it.
We survived all of our lives.
Before the cell phone, we all waited till, you know.
You get to a red light and they can't wait. And
they're just like.
This is where the cops are too. They're sitting at gas stations. They're watching from corners. They see somebody. And they know all the signs. Like a lady sitting, she goes like this.
Yeah, because it's so not obvious, right? And you know what? It boggles my mind how still you see people blatantly on the phone.
I'll just be your echo for emphasis. Blatantly.
That means really obvious. That's not on the list.
Pardon me, please. I'm sorry to cough in my microphone.
Yeah, would you
I can't help it, Lou.
Stop it, will you?
On the show today.
Yes.
Whiskey. Well, I kind of thought, because I went to the Whiskey Barrel with Keith, and I really enjoyed the place. And so I thought, you know what, New Year's Eve, maybe I'll do a little spot on the Whiskey Barrel, and they could talk about some cocktails and stuff. We ended up spending so much time chatting about the business and stuff that we only made it like one drink. But anyway, it's the interview coming up. We went to the Whiskey Barrel.
He owns half the place now, but
yeah. And so that's coming up, talking about New Year's and their nice business. And then also, Bonnie Baranski, local psychic. I had her in on Friday. When did I have her in? I don't remember. Anyway, we taped the interview, and that's on the show today. Plus, Luann has the news. So don't go anywhere because it's Mornings with Luann and Tim, and it's New Year's Eve. Woohoo! We'll be back right after this message. On location at the Whiskey Barrel on Gore Street, and it's not really New Year's Eve, but we're taping this for New Year's Eve, so we'll pretend it's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve, Melissa and Dunbar Thompson.
And to you.
Thank you. Melissa, you're not going to be open on New Year's Eve, so if you're watching this on New Year's Eve day, don't go to the Whiskey Barrel tonight, but for sure, go to the Whiskey Barrel. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
You opened officially when?
November 16th.
November 16th?
That was our grand opening. We opened the doors November 13th.
Okay, so, and you guys have been working really hard.
We have.
Which is why we're going to let you have New Year's Eve off. So, when do you reopen in the new year?
The 3rd, I believe, right?
2nd. We're actually open on the 2nd. The 1st we're taking off as well.
Can you tell they're a married couple? They're not on the same page at all. It's brilliant. I love it. So, now I came in here with my partner Keith the other evening. We had the best time. You're a wonderful host, Dunbar.
Thank you very much.
What is your? We don't know each other very well in real life. What is your background? Where did you come from? How did you end up in Sault Ste. Marie? Or were you born and raised here? And what's your background in business?
My background in business is slim to none, but no, I spent a long time on St. Joe Island from 6 to 16. I moved away various times through then, sporadically, and then after 16 I moved to Thunder Bay and then back and forth and down south. I've lived all the way from Peterborough to Red Deer, down to Georgia, all around. So
wow.
But most of the formative years, like I said, 10 to 16 were spent going to St. Joe, going to Cass.
Really? Now, and I've seen, the way I do know you is from seeing you on stage. So you've done shows for Sioux Theatre Workshop. Any other productions?
Here in town?
Yeah.
I've worked with Shot in the Dark, Sioux Theatre Workshop, and that's about it here in town. But I've worked in theater since I was a young child, since I was 9. So.
No, it's tough now, though, isn't it, when you own your own business to find the time to continue to do that? Do you think at some point, when this becomes a turnkey operation, is that the goal, actually, for someone like yourself who's an entrepreneur?
Just to sit back and let the money roll in? Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, ideally, I've always wanted to have something like this, so when I'm involved, I like to be here for it, so, but I like to be home. We have 5 kids between us, so.
5? Yeah, I saw your Christmas picture. I was telling Melissa, I saw the Christmas picture. Now, your background is finance, is that correct?
Yes, it's actually bookkeeping and graphic design.
And graphic design. So the design part came in handy for setting this place up. Is that true, Melissa? Did you have a lot of say in the way that this place came together?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
That's okay. We're all coughing today.
We're all coughing today. Well, Dunmar really had the concept for a pub, and I really kind of modernized it a bit more than what his vision was, and we came together on agreement. And when we were in Scotland, we actually seen a wall that was done kind of like on the side here, and so we ordered 50 barrels, and we call it the whiskey barrel. So they're all whiskey barrels on the walls. We've taken them all apart. It was a lot of work, a lot of time.
I didn't know that. You actually purchased the whiskey barrels, took them all apart, and put them on the walls.
We absolutely did.
And then you also, are those extra, or those are...
That's covering the pillars. So there's pillars there that were mirrored, and we wanted to make a new atmosphere. Our friend John actually came up with that idea, and it looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
I didn't want to break all the mirrors.
No.
I just didn't want to start that way.
Bad luck all over.
Because there's 4 mirrors on each pillar that are 8 feet long, and I didn't want to smash them. We ended up cracking them inside the barrels when we were putting the barrels on, but the bad luck is encased inside the barrel, so we're good.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so knowledge of whiskey. Where did that come from? For some reason, I'm just looking right to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I got into drinking scotch a while ago. I enjoyed it, and then we expanded on that when we went to Scotland. My scotch of choice has always been Lagavulin, which is an Islay Scotch. So when we designed our trip for Scotland, Islay was one of the main places we wanted to go, so I could hit the Lagavulin distillery and Lafroig and the Ardbeg. So there's 8 distilleries. At the time, there was 8 distilleries on Islay, and we visited 7 and toured 3 or 4. So that's where my formal whiskey knowledge came from the distilling and all that kind of stuff like that. Tasting is just something you do if you like whiskey. You enjoy it, and scotch, and you learn about it that way. So I have friends. I've accumulated friends in the circle now, so I'm learning more all the time. It's something that you actually take extensive courses on to be like a whiskey sommelier, like a wine sommelier, and it's quite a thing. I'm not anywhere near that at all. Even in my circle of friends, I'm probably the least knowledgeable in whiskey, but I have a lot of passion. So.
But you're a sponge.
I'm a sponge.
And he'll soak up the alcohol. Melissa, I want to ask you, was the trip to Scotland, did you have the idea for the pub before the trip to Scotland and hence the trip, or did the trip to Scotland sort of help move this idea along?
Well, the trip to Scotland was just kind of a trip that we had planned for ourselves.
Okay.
We made our own vows to each other there. And
oh, wait a minute. So this was like a romantic couple trip, like marriage kind of thing, or?
It was a combination alcohol romance tour.
You know, some of the best relationships and romances have happened because of alcohol. So
she got the romance, I got the alcohol.
Oh, okay. So it did progress from there then, the concept?
Yeah, so we, sorry, he did not want to come home. He wanted to move there.
Oh.
And I kept saying, we have 5 children. And they have their parents they need to see. They can't move. He's like, they can move here too. And I'm like, no. So we kind of decided to bring a bit back. It didn't quite spark right away. We went in May, and the idea didn't quite spark until July, August. So.
Okay. What about the location? So this this particular building has had quite a history of tenants. Most people in Sault Ste. Marie remember it recently from Low and Slow, had a long run here. They've relocated. But there have been several others that have attempted to make a go of this spot. And for one reason or another, they just didn't catch. What do you think is going to be the difference for you, and why this location?
Well, a pub is always a small location. So anywhere you go for a true pub, it's like a little hallway. So our max seating here is 60 people. Our original idea was to get an actual building, a house, and completely retrofit it into a pub. However, this place became available, and the kitchen was already set. And like you said, there's some places that didn't quite last here. So our main goal was to make it not look like
Anything had been before.
Had been here before. So we cut out the vestibule, we knocked down walls, we made it more open. We even put slate floor because in Scotland all the roofs are made out of slate.
Oh.
So it's definitely, our idea was to create an atmosphere here that you can't find anywhere else and not use the old atmosphere. So even the bar was ripped right out and everything. So that was our main thing to make this a success.
Well, when I was here with Keith the other night, it was packed and a table would leave and more would arrive. So it looks like it's doing pretty well. Now, as far as the fare goes, the food, it's a pub menu, right? How would you describe that, Dunbar?
Yeah. So this is a pub. Now, a pub is a public house. It was generally designed as a house within a community that was open to the public. People could come in, sit, talk, drink, eat. So we are not a restaurant. We're a pub. So our fare is designed to eat hot. It can get cold. You can still eat it. It's quick as far as the people out here are concerned, and it's heavy. It's Scottish food, so it's like Scotch eggs and shepherd's pie.
Oh, the Scotch egg! I didn't try it. You told me to, and I wasn't that hungry because I ate other stuff instead. But the Scotch egg is definitely traditional Scottish, right?
Yes, yeah. The traditional Scottish, we have the Scotch pie, which is a very traditional Scottish thing, and the Scotch egg, which is a Scottish thing, but is kind of blown all over Europe and into North America and stuff like that. Is a kind of a common thing. They have a version of it out of Texas called like an armadillo egg, which is kind of the same thing.
Right.
So the Scotch pie is probably the most Scottish, but yeah, Scotch egg is, and the shepherd's pie, is also actual shepherd's pie, not cottage pie. Fish and chips is English and European. So where we like to have we're a Celtic pub with a focus on the Scottish side.
Excellent. And then when it comes to sampling stuff, you've got these great things, the flights, right? Can we talk a little bit about that, Melissa?
Sure, absolutely. So when we were originally looking to open, when we were in Scotland, they always had these flights of beer. So you could order, you come with a little container and you could get 4 beer. And I was like, well, since we're the Whiskey Barrel, let's do whiskey flights. So we looked into it, and here we are. So we have whiskey flights on. We have a basic flight, so you can try 3 tasters, which are half-ounce samples of our $8. Our $15 is our basic flight. We also have a high-end flight, which is a $400 bottles of whiskey. They're all 25-year-old whiskeys. We also introduced a Bowmore and a a Lagavulin flight, so you can try 3 of the same brand and actually taste the difference between all the years.
That is so cool because, as you say, not everybody is an aficionado, but it's fun to learn. And also, when you're taking the smaller samples, you get to taste which one you like, and then actually sit down and maybe order a full ounce or whatever and sip it or have it. Do you get offended when people take a Scotch and mix it with something? I know that, for instance, if there's a really expensive, like an expensive whiskey, and then someone says, "I'll have that with Coke," a lot of people would just go like, "No."
Yeah. Yeah. You don't mix Scotch. It's a sipping whiskey. Rye and bourbons in the high ends. They're not meant to be mixed. I mean, it's a free country. You can do what you like. But
you're going to give them the snake eye from behind the bar.
But I'll give you the evil eye from behind the bar. That's it shouldn't be done. You can, please don't do it here. But you can. You're talking a lot of money, though. I mean, you're
why waste the taste?
It's like, if you are drinking an expensive bottle of wine, you don't put 7-Up in it.
Oh, no. And also the idea of sipping. It's you sip, you converse. You're not coming in here to like blah, blah, blah. Right. You're coming in to have a conversation and to enjoy the company of friends in a really cool atmosphere. Right.
Well, that's the thing. So shots are a North American situation where you shoot an ounce of alcohol or 2 ounces of alcohol into, and it's designed to get you drunk. Yeah. Whiskey here, and we're not we're not a shooter bar. We don't sell shots. We sell shots in the fact that ounce drinks, but they're not meant to be shot. They're meant to be sipped and enjoyed and savored.
And savored. Yeah. And the drafts. We have about maybe 30 seconds left, I think, on this segment, but I'd like to go to a commercial and then come back because there's a little more. I'd like to actually maybe have you make me a couple of drinks because it's New Year's. People are watching this on New Year's. Maybe you could give us a couple of ideas of a simple cocktail somebody could make at home for New Year's. But before we go to commercial, I wanted to ask about the selection of drafts because you've got some drafts that actually you import. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have Innocent Gun on tap, which is a Scottish craft beer. It is also one of the main reasons I wanted to go to Scotland as a caveat, because it was my favorite beer in the whole world, and we got a private tour of the distillery. Wow. Put little strings, and we got in there, so it was nice. So we have Innocent Gun, 3 types of Innocent Gun on tap, imported from Scotland, and then all of our other beers are Ontario craft beers.
Do you carry any local beers at all?
Right now we have 3 Outspoken and the 11 p.m. from Superior.
That's great. So there you go. There's a great reason to come here too, to support. You can try international brews and also support local brewers. Okay, so
we have 12 taps. We have 12 draft beers.
That must have been. Did you have to do a fair amount of installation on that then, Dunbar?
I built all the taps myself. Yes. We did a couple strange things that are kind of weird to bypass the cooling systems and stuff like that, which are very expensive. Right. So yeah, I put all the taps in myself, all black iron.
Good for you. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, you'll join us at the bar, and we're going to make a couple of cocktails for New Year's Eve. Sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
Okay, don't go anywhere. We're still on location at the Whiskey Barrel on Gore Street on New Year's Eve. Not really. We'll be right back after this. Okay, welcome back. We are once again on location at the Whiskey Barrel on Gore Street. We're celebrating New Year's Eve with Dunbar and Melissa Thompson, the owner-operators. And Melissa, you're going to make me what?
We're going to start with a whiskey sour, and we're going to move on to a Bailey substitute for the new year.
Right on. Okay, the whiskey sour, we need whiskey, obviously. What's your whiskey of choice here?
We tend to use just our bar rail, which is Canadian whiskey.
Well, we're supporting Canadian whiskey.
It is actually the Barrel Select version. Whiskey Barrel, so.
Whiskey Barrel Select. Okay, so we're going to do like 1.5 ounces of liquor, is that right?
Right, we're going to actually start with some ice in your shaker.
Ooh, the shaker.
Just to make sure that it's cold. And then we're going to put...
Ounce and...
Yeah, around
Melissa has her smart serve. That's all good. Dunbar doesn't, which is why he sits over there. Over here. Yeah, that's okay. I have my smart serve.
Here at the Whiskey Barrel, we add a cube of brown sugar.
No.
See, that's...
What is it?
It's actually raw sugar.
Oh. My apologies.
It is brown.
It's brown raw sugar.
It's color-wise, but it's raw sugar. So brown sugar has molasses in it.
And raw sugar?
It does not. It's not processed.
There we go. You're fancier than you knew.
There we are.
Okay.
We have lime cordial here. We're going to add about 1/2 ounce into...
Rose's lime cordial is available at the grocery store. That's where I get. Or you can also buy the powdered stuff, but this is nicer.
So the powdered stuff is actually not...
Lime bar mix.
It's bar...
It's not cordial.
No, it's like lime Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's not cordial. It's unfriendly. Yeah. Okay, distilled water.
And we add some distilled water here. We add about another 1/2 ounce into here.
Now I've made these before when I was a bartender. I never did the distilled water. That's nice. I like that.
So the distilled water is nice because you don't have any of the flavors from tap water that you tend to have. So it actually has... Zero flavor.
Zero flavor, yeah. No.
He knows all about water, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, okay. I taught Dunbar a drink. You're going to shake this now.
Yes, I'm going to shake it vigorously.
I taught Dunbar a drink. A friend of mine, Mark Cassius Ferguson is his last name, from Trinidad. He's a performer, and he taught me Mother's Milk, and it's Scotch of your choice, and more milk and honey, and it's a nice nighttime drink. And you tried it?
I did. I tried it the night you told me about it. And it was absolutely fabulous. I had a nice big mug, I heated up my milk, and I put a nice big dollop, a tablespoon of honey in there, and a little free pour of scotch, and mix it up. Yeah, it was absolutely spectacular. It was great before bed.
You can put it on your menu if you want, and just call it the Timothy Murphy's Mother's Milk. It's not Scottish, but
we're using a special ice cube for New Year's Eve. It's an actual ball of distilled water. It's a ball of distilled water. This will actually melt a little slower than ice cubes, so it doesn't wash out your drink, but it keeps it nice and cold.
You're so smart. And oh, look at, and it gets a little fizz on top. That's nice. And also the other thing is, with that ice cube, it's like the ball on New Year's Eve. It's getting lowered on Times Square. What are you guys gonna do tonight on New Year's Eve?
We are going up to the pub at the Water Tower. They had a room package.
Yeah?
It's actually our 3-year anniversary. So.
Oh, you guys, happy anniversary! That's great. They'll take good care of you up there.
That's one of the reasons why we are closed. It's our first New Year's. We've been running pretty ragged for the last 4 or 5 months, and it's our New Year's is our anniversary. So this year, since we're naturally closed on the day, we're going to stay closed. Next year, New Year's falls on one of our open days, and we will be open for it. So next year's New Year's will be a banging on time here. But
right on. And you guys, now there you go. This is your whiskey sour, little lime.
This is really great for women, especially who want to try whiskey, but don't really want to drink it just neat.
Right.
So neat is actually...
Drink it sloppy.
Drinking whiskey neat is just whiskey on its own at room temperature. You can have it on the rocks, which includes some ice or...
And don't be thrown off by the term sour, because it really isn't. It isn't like a bitter sour drink. It's really nice. It's smooth.
It's a nice smooth drink. Or you can also have whiskey with droplets of water, which is actually the proper way to...
The Dunbar somebody has to have that. Taste test it. How did she do? All right, and now this is cute.
So this is actually a Scottish cream liqueur. It has a cute little Scottish bonnet on it.
Is it a tam?
It is a tam.
It's a tam. And you're speaking of Scottish attire. All of your servers here wear kilts.
They do.
I love that too. Sasha looks cute in a kilt, by the way. Hi, Sasha.
So this is called Magnum. You can get it at the liquor store currently. We're hoping they'll make it a permanent thing. We have purchased quite a bit, so you can try it here as well.
Currently, you might not be able to get it at the liquor store because
You bought them out?
We bought as much as we could, and they're out pretty well across town. If you can find one, grab one.
Okay. Look at how cute that looks on the bowl. You have a really international staff here too. I mean, Sasha, we were talking about, he's Croatian, and then you have another server here who's Australian.
Yes.
So come to the Scottish pub and you'll learn all these different languages.
Yes, his name is Sean. So he works...
Sean McKenzie.
From Down Under. All right. Listen, guys, I want to thank you so much for hosting us here today. Happy New Year. Happy anniversary. And for those of you watching, get yourself down in the new year to the Whiskey Barrel. They open again on January the 2nd. What are your days of operation?
Normally we are closed Sunday, Monday, and we work 4 to 2 a.m. every other day. So.
And you're also looking at bringing in some live entertainment in the future as well.
Yeah, our New Year, so we've, like you said, we've only been open since November, so this year, or the end of 2018 was just trying to figure out what we're doing. This is our first venture into this kind of business. So come the new year, we want to have a bunch of new things. We're looking at hosting arm wrestling competitions. We're looking at
a beard art night.
And mustache art. We want to have...
My sister could enter that one.
We want to have live music and also open jam.
Nice.
Most days to be open jam, so which is unlike an open mic when people aren't coming in singing necessarily. Right. So come with your guitar, come with your bodhrán, come with your cajon, and
bring your cajon.
Bring your cajons and bang them on the stage.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
The other thing I wanted to say was thanks for continuing to breathe life into this great Gore Street neighborhood, which has really, really come a long way. I love the fact that there's more to do on Gore Street, that there's more businesses opening up. It really is that kind of a feel of that artsy, kind of fun, kind of, you know, kitschy kind of place. Very, very themed. So congratulations and all the best in the new year. And we'll be back more Mornings with Luann and Tim coming up after this break.
I am very excited to have in the studio with me Bonnie Baranski. Now, if you have not heard that name in town, where have you been? Because I have known your name since 1996. What do you call yourself? Do you call yourself a psychic, Bonnie? Or how
Yes, I do. Psychic medium.
Psychic medium.
Yeah.
How long have you been working with the gift?
Since 1992.
92.
Yes.
See, I came back to the zoo in 96, and you did a read for me. I was just telling Bonnie before we started about the amazing read she did for me when I first came back, and you were so on the mark with so much stuff. So I've never forgotten that, and that's why I'm happy to see you again.
Well, that's really nice for me to hear. I love hearing wonderful feedback.
Good.
Thank you.
Now, are you from the Sioux area originally?
Yes, I am.
You were born and raised here?
Born and raised here.
And then you went away for a while, came back?
I moved to Toronto. I lived in Yorkville. I was down in Toronto for 5 years, and then I came back in 1973.
And you raised a family here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When did you first start realizing that you had the gift? Is that what do you call it, a gift? How do you refer to it?
I really don't have a word for it. It's sort of like, it's so much a part of me. Like, I believe we all have it.
Okay.
And sometimes when I hear that terminology, gift, it really sets me, like, it's like, you have it too. Everyone has it.
All right.
It's just a matter of, like, using it.
Being able to tap into it.
Yes. Yes.
Do you think it's a matter of trusting and believing and listening too? Do you think that's part of it?
I think, yes, and I think being present is very, very important. So many times we're miles away in our mind. We're thinking of the next thing on our to-do list, and we're not really present, so we can't pick up all the signals that are sent to us.
Now, you've done readings with cards for me, and you just did one a little bit before we started. Mm-hmm. Was that something that you learned along the way? How did you learn about using
yes, I started with a very dear friend of mine, Heather Lucas, who opened Star Maidens here in Sault Ste. Marie in 1992.
Okay.
She was way ahead of her time. She lasted 5 years, but she's the one that really got me interested in tarot, and I began to look at how the tarot is so ancient and so beautiful that I started studying it.
Are there other methods you use for doing reads?
Sometimes I just channel, where I just connect to the person's energy and receive messages and then deliver it to the person.
Where do you think those, because we have somebody actually work with at ONNtv here who also she channels as well. Where do you find the energies, and I mean when you hear what is it that you're hearing when you hear the messages? Is it a feeling that speaks to you? Do you actually hear words, or
no? The way I receive messages is in symbols. There's not a language, because many people that I work with, English isn't their first language, so it wouldn't make much sense if I was trying to connect to an Italian and they gave it to me in Italian. So the spirit sends me pictures.
That is very cool. I never thought about that, about the language of...
Yes, right? And I find now that the computer has a lot of the pictures that I was sent. Like, if you look at all the little things on the pages, it's the same way that I get messages. You know, like the arrow that's pointing means you're going to pass it on, and things like that.
No kidding, huh?
Yeah, and it really surprised me at first, and then I thought, okay, well, that's the smartest way to do it, because I speak English and some French, so that would limit the people I would be able to connect to.
What are some of the are there runes? Is that a word? Runes? No, is it
Ruins?
Ruins. Is that something you do? Are those stones and stuff?
No, I don't use them, but I do strongly believe in them. They're very ancient. They come from the Scandinavian countries and the Vikings, and so anything Viking is good.
Anything Viking is good. I'm Irish. Does that count?
Yes, yes. I've got a lot of Irish myself.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Okay, Baranski is not your maiden name, obviously.
No, that's Polish. No, my maiden name is Jewel.
Jewel?
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Bonnie Jewel, yeah.
That's the name I think you should have used for the. Although Mystic Messages is a lovely name as well.
Thank you. Yes.
So now in business, did you go right into business in '96 or did you just start?
I worked with Heather for 5 years, so that would put it around 96, 97 that I opened up my first place on East Street.
Which is where I went.
Yes, and I was there for 8 years.
Okay.
And then I started doing meditation classes, and I didn't have enough room there to do it, so I moved to above Foch's Dry Cleaners.
Oh.
And I worked up there for...
Right above Sparky Scarfone.
Yes.
Is he a sweetheart?
Yes, he was a wonderful landlord. He really was.
And he's still around. Sparky's still going strong.
Good.
So you were above Foch's. Do you still do the classes and stuff?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
We just did a major celebration at... my new place that I share with Peaceful Warrior, the yoga studio. We did the solstice.
Yes,
and it was absolutely beautiful.
I've had guests on from the Peaceful Warrior. What's his name, for heaven's sakes? Who's our yogi? Who's my yogi?
Oh, Jay.
Justin.
Yes, Justin.
Justin Briglio.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Well, he's my friend Patricia is the owner of Peaceful Warrior Studio,
60 Pym Street.
Yes,
I know the address.
Yes, and so we just did our solstice there, and it was absolutely beautiful because we laid out the labyrinth and we darkened the whole studio, and everybody walked in the dark, and then we had candles in the middle, and then they walked out in the light.
Oh, wow!
It was gorgeous. Yeah.
So. How do you have hours of operation at Mystic Messages?
Yes, 11 to 5, Monday to Friday.
And is this by appointment only, Bonnie?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to call because...
I want to know what my day's going to look like.
Well, I thought you would know that already.
I know. I'm not on all the time.
No. Neither am I, Bonnie. Neither am I. So now, the reason we asked you here, well, first of all, because it's nice to see you again, and it's great to hear about the business and what you're up to. But we were hoping you maybe would help us out with some projections for the new year, seeing as we're airing this on New Year's Eve.
I would be happy to. Yeah,
okay, great. First of all, everybody always wants to know about the steel plant. I know that's a question that gets asked a lot at New Year's. What the future looks like for the steel plant. Now it's just turned back into Algoma, and they tell us that the future looks good. What do you have to say about that? Oh. She's reaching for the cards.
Well, lots of yellow. So lots of new beginnings, and I think it's going to do very well. I think the Sioux is actually going to be on an upswing as far as finances and Algoma Steel.
Excellent.
Yes.
Let's move to the sports arena. All right.
Okay.
The Sioux Greyhounds. Now, they've been doing very well so far, haven't they, Alex? I'm asking Alex Parr because he's in the room with us right now. They've had a great season thus far. Are they still number 2 in their division? Think so. Bonnie, what's it look like for the Greyhounds? Can you give us
the Greyhound, I'm not too good with sports, but I get pictures. So what I'm getting is red and a triangle. So is there a sport team that has like a triangle on the front of their jersey?
A red
and with a red background. That's going to be the winner. And the number 11 is very significant.
Number 11, red triangle. All right. Alex wants to go and check the teams now to see who we have to beat. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the environment. Can you tell us anything about the feeling for the planet itself and the way the world is sort of headed with all these concerns we have about global warming and carbon emissions and all that kind of stuff, Bonnie?
we are actually in a very privileged place here in Sault Ste. Marie, right next to the biggest freshwater lake. We're going to see more people looking at this as a place, as a destination, because we don't have the a lot of the things that are happening in southern Ontario and to the far north. We're actually in a very really beautiful place that will continue to be that way. There's some staunch people in this area that want to take care of it.
That would be a good thing for tourism too.
Yes,
people realizing
more
that this
boats. I keep seeing boats pulling.
She sees more boats.
Yes,
good. More. Send more cruise ships, please.
Now, just one thing here.
Yes.
There's something coming new to the Soo that's going to involve. It's like a scent, like. I don't. It's a new industry that's coming. I can't name it yet. I can't get all the information.
Like fragrance.
Yeah, and it's going to be very good.
Could it be cannabis?
Bingo! It's not a maple leaf I'm seeing.
Bonnie, I want to thank you for coming here today and spending some time with us.
Okay, it's my pleasure.
Will you come back again?
Certainly.
Maybe.
Certainly.
Would you ever consider doing a live read for somebody on camera?
I would love to.
Would you?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have Bonnie Baranski back on the show, and she's going to do a live read. Stay tuned, and we'll let you know when that's going to happen. May I shake your hand?
Sure.
Happy New Year, Bonnie.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
All the best to you in 2019, and all the best to you as well. Stay with us. We'll be back to say goodbye with Luann after this message. All right, I'm channeling Luann, and I say, we're going to have a great new year.
We're going to have a great new year. Absolutely. 2019, look out. We're going to show you how it's done 2019.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but we're going to do it.
Me neither.
Okay.
Sounding.
So what happens now? We go home. It's New Year's Eve today.
Right.
We don't have anything on tomorrow.
No.
Have a happy New Year's Day. We're not going to be here. We're back on Wednesday.
We're back Wednesday, regular schedule.
January 2nd, we'll see you at 8 a.m. for Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Happy New Year. Thanks so much for watching.